Hiya, I'm Martha and this is how we spent 48 hours in Caernarfon.
Colourful streets, a stunning castle and centuries of history tucked into every corner of the town. Nestled between the mountains of Eryri and the stunning Afon Menai, Caernarfon is a must-see spot in North Wales. It's around 4 hours from London, under 2 from Manchester or Liverpool, and makes a brilliant base for exploring the rest of Gogledd Cymru. Over 80% of the population of Caernarfon speak Welsh, so you'll be sure to hear Cymraeg spoken around the town, so it's a great place to visit to get a taste of Welsh culture.
So the first thing you'll notice when you come to Caernarfon is, of course, the castle, so that's where we're going to head first.
Right at the heart of the town is Castell Caernarfon. I might be biased, but it's one of the most impressive castles in the UK. The nearest station to Caernarfon is Bangor, and if you travel by train, you can get 2-for-1 entry to the castle, as well as all other Cadw sites.
We're going up to the viewing deck. It's a new upgrade to the castle, so I'm really excited to see it. I sometimes forget the castle is here, because I just come to Caernarfon, pop into the cafes and pubs, but actually I need to come in more often because it's really cool. I should be able to name the mountains, but I don't think I can.
This was actually Yr Wyddfa. I did know that, I swear.
So dwi'n meddwl bod lle dyn ni'n mynd nesa yn fan yndi. So next on the list is Caernarfon, and this used to be a harbour office, but now there's loads of units with independent businesses and shops, and we're going to pop in to see Lisa Taylor's gallery, who's a renowned artist in Caernarfon. So ti'n byw yn Caernarfon, sy'n beth ydi o i fyw mewn dre mor lliwgar a braf?
Ti'n gwybod dwi wrth y modd yma sdi. Dwi os i'r fôn yn wreiddiol, ond mae Gaernarfon yn rhywle dwi'n alw'n adre erbyn hyn. Dwi'n mes rhyw 7 mlynedd an. A dwi'n wrth y modd bod yna gymaint mynd ymlaen yma, mae'r Gymraeg yn chlywed yn bob man. Gymaint o bethau quirky yma, a jyst digon i wneud da. So dwi'n meddwl fi'n symud o yma yn hir iawn.
Da, a cymeriadau yma fynd.
Oes.
So sut mae byw yn fan hyn di effeithio y ffordd ti'n gwneud y gelf?
Felly, es i Lundain i Goleg Celf, a nes i sylwi rili bod fi wedi cymryd adran ganiataol dipyn bach. A wedyn sylwi wedyn dod adra meddwl, waw, mae'r lle ma'n anhygoel. A wedyn, jyst eisiau sort of dangos hynna ar ganfas mwy na'n byd, achos mae'n le mor hydolus.
So just around the corner from Caernarfon, you can come to do even more shopping in the colourful Stryd y Plas. A mae lwyth o shops fan hyn fyd, does?
Oes, mae'n anhygoel yma. Sa'ch chi'n teulu bod chdi dramor neu rhywbeth
fysa? Dwi'n gwybod, ie.
Ond na, mae gymaint o siopa lleol lyflu. A jyst amrywiaeth.
Ti'n dod draw i siopa fan hyn yn aml?
Ynddo, mae'n rili handi os dwi'n presant yr un.
A fi'n hefyd, os dwi'n fo last minute anrhegion i fan hyn.
Mae'n ideal.
And if you've had enough of shopping, you could pop over to Gallery, the theatre and arts centre in Caernarfon, and see what's on. There's so much to see in Gallery. It's theatre, cinema, music, shows for kids, and I even sang on the stage when I was 6. So you could also have a drink outside Gallery, looking out over the dock, but we're going to go to Black Boy, which is this way.
At one point, Caernarfon was home to nearly 60 pubs, and one of the most famous is still standing, the Black Boy, and I'm going there to meet poet and local legend Rhys Iorwerth.
Un stori ydy bod y lle mae wedi cael ei enw ar ôl dyn o'r enw Jack y Stymllyn, stad oedd mewn criceth ydy y Stymllyn, a bod o wedi cael ei gipio o India'r Gorllewin gan bechnogion y stad, a un o'r dynion du cyntaf erioed i fewn yr ardal yma lle ddysgodd o Gymraeg, drodd o'n arddwr pen i gamp. So dyna un stori. Ella bod hi fwy tebygol, mae yna sawl tafarn Black Boy drwy Brydain, a brenin Charles yr Ail. Oedd o i lys enw fo oedd y Black Boy, lle bod hi'n fwy tebygol, mae dyna di'r tarddiad neu hyd yn oed bwy du yn y môr, da ni ar lan porthladd yma wedi'r cyfan.
So ti'n gallu gael dy hun yn gofi dre go iawn yn dod?
Wel, yn wir draddodiadol bosib mae cofi dre oedd rhywun oedd di eni a'i fagu o fewn y muria, hen furia, ceirog y dre. Erbyn heddiw, dwi'n meddwl bod y diffiniad yn anamestyn i rywun o fewn y dre ehangach, a dwi wedi cael y magu yma erioed. Wedyn, dwi'n ystyried fy hun yn gofi mae ffaith bod gennym ni ffordd unigryw o siarad, mae hynna'n ychwanegu at yr hunaniaeth, dydy, at yr hunaniaeth arbennig ac at y teimlad yma ymhlith Cofis, bod nhw'n wahanol a bod nhw'n reit unigryw. A yn cydfynd â hynna, mae'r cymeriadau welid o gwmpas y dre, rhain nhw'n ystod y bar wan. Mae yna gymeriadau, os ydych chi jyst yn gwrando nhw am 5 munud, ydych chi di chwerthu 10 gwaith. A gei di hynny rhwng bob twll a chornol o Gaernarfon. Mae'n bobl ffraeth, hiwmor, parod i tafod, ond cynnas hefyd. Un o bethau gwych am Gaernarfon ydy mae yna bob dim yma, ond dim gormod o bob dim chwaith. Mae gen ti gymaint o'r nodweddion elfenna sy'n creu tre, ddifyr, wych i fyw yndi. Ond heb bod y lle rhy fawr, 10,000 o bobl sydd yma.
After a first day full of shopping, chatting and a pint or two, it's definitely time to find some food. And luckily, Caernarfon has so many options for all tastes and budgets, from plastinas to la marina. But what we need is a picnic from local produce favourite, Martha Elen, to take with us on our day trip to Beddgelert tomorrow.
I can see behind you here, you have all these local produce.
Yeah, I mean, the whole ethos behind Bonta basically is to champion and support local, all the local producers, all the local suppliers, so everything that you see really. Do you know, we are blessed in Caernarfon. It's just something so magical and special about here. It's a great sense of community and, you know, look, the food festival, for example, I was speaking to people who'd never been to Caernarfon before. And we're absolutely blown away by it all because we've got everything. We've got a castle, which we take for granted. We've got mountains, we've got sea, we've got absolutely everything, and a beautiful sort of community vibe. And the thing that I love a lot about my job is it really does feel like a community. We see people more or less 3 or 4 times a week, if not every day. And I do feel, I've never felt more part of a community than I have here.
Just spotted, that's Lisa's artwork, isn't it?
Yes.
Is that something you see in a lot of local produce?
Do you know, again, a lovely combination of a local producer using local people to produce, to make their brand stand out.
Lovely.
You know, all of these are beautifully illustrated.
Caernarfon is the perfect base to visit the surrounding area. We've chosen to take the steam train to Beddgelert, a small cute town with an interesting history.
Whoopsie!
Beddgelert is nestled in the heart of Eryri, and the name translates to Gelert's grave. Legend has it, Llywelyn the Great returned home to find his baby missing and his faithful hound Gelert covered in blood. Believing the worst, he struck the dog down, only to find his child safe and a wolf lying dead nearby. Whether true or not, the tale lives on, and the village has carried his name ever since. One of the most scenic ways to reach Beddgelert is by train, and not just any train, but the historic Welsh Highland Railway. The journey takes you through the mountains of Eryri, past lakes and forests right into Beddgelert station, just a short walk from its riverside paths, cosy cafes and the legendary Gelert's grave.
Casio bont a wedyn mae 'na gas. And here we are, Gelert's grave. I wonder os pobl yn dod ag actually fatha fel galaru.
Whether the story of poor Gelert is true or not, Beddgelert is a lovely scenic town to visit if you're in Eryri, with plenty of nice places to eat and a famous ice cream shop, Glaslyn. That was really nice. The walk is also fully accessible, so it's perfect for all abilities.
Be ni'n gwneud nesaf ta?
Wel, dwi fancy paint, da.
Ti'n gwybod nhw'n da?
Dwi'n gwybod am really good spot.
Let's go.
Let's go. So that was how we spent 48 hours in Caernarfon, and what better way to end it off than with a pint outside the Anglesey.